I'm going to tell the story about Happy Jack. But before I do that, Ryan Burns is a friend of mine. He told me about the Phenomenon in Vernal last year. So I came up here with another guy. We rented an Airbnb about 20 miles that way. And we're out there. We got the night vision. And we saw, and I've got amazing video if anyone wants to see it. This is a legitimate triangle. I don't know if it's ours or theirs or whose it is, but it's 3 minutes, very clear. And then we went to the conference. We met this guy. Hopefully he's going to be here. He's a guy that lives in this area. He's got a long beard. And he says that he knows where the Bigfoot are up there in the Ashley Forest. And I says, will you take me up there? And he says, sure. And let me show you my book. And he pulls out this book. And he's flipping through all the pictures. And then he tells me that he's communicating with these guys. I mean, I don't know if anyone knows who I'm talking about, please let me know afterwards. You know I'm good. I'm trying to find him. I lost his phone number. Anyway, so he took us up there and he showed us where the tree structures were, and then he's talking, and I'm recording the whole time. And very clearly, we heard this, just like that. We all heard it, and it was recorded. I mean, but what was weird about it is it sounded close, but the volume was low, so I couldn't understand where it would have been. It was very weird, almost like it was in another dimension, to go into the woo for a minute. Anyway, so we did that, and then I don't know if any of you are familiar with World Bigfoot Radio. Duke Sullivan's a good friend of mine. If you haven't seen the Glag series or heard the Glag story, go get your mind blown on that one. I'm on my way there tomorrow, but I wanted to come here because I wanted to hang out. We got a spot up there where I accidentally, unknowingly took a very good picture of a Bigfoot last year when I was up there. They pushed down 2 trees and they were whistling at us the whole time. So I'm a believer. I'm a knower. There's the trolls, the skeptics, the believers, and the knowers. That's how I categorize them. Trolls. I like to play with the trolls sometimes. But anyway, so we'll get to the Happy Jack story. So I was at my friend's house in Sedona, Arizona. This guy comes over. We're drinking beer. He says, I know where Travis Walton was abducted. I used to work for the Forest Service. My boss took me there. I says, take me there. We drove up there. We're 7,700 feet up, off the grid, 5 miles up on this Mogollon Rim. And he says, this is the spot. And I believed him because I didn't know what else to believe. So I went back down to Sedona, got my friends. I said, look, we got to go camp up here. Maybe there's still UFOs flying around because I'm a kind of a UFO guy too. And he said, so I got 3 of my friends that come up there about 2.5 hours. We drive up this dirt road. We're camping out up there. We're partying. There's nobody within 5 miles. And all of a sudden, it was 8:15 at night, and this massive, I don't know if it was plasma, or some people would call it an orb, but it was 40 feet around, about 120 feet up above this tree, just came floating, no sound, floating. And I was like, I'd never seen anything that big or that close. And then for about 20 minutes, I don't know what they were, but they were coming over the top of us. So that after that, we're hanging out, we're drinking. It's about 10 o'clock, and we're playing music, and we're having fun. All of a sudden, we hear sounds in the forest. And I knew nothing about Bigfoot. This was 2 years ago. I had no knowledge about Bigfoot. I didn't know about the Mogollon Monster. I didn't know about tree structures. But we're hearing sounds over there, and I said, what's that? My friend says, that's the Bigfoot. I go, don't pull my leg. There's no Bigfoot in Arizona. He says, oh, yes, there is. There's the Mogollon Monster. I go, what? So long story short, the next night, 2 friends go home. I'm still up there with my friend. We're hanging out. We're drinking. It's about 11:30, 12 o'clock. We go to bed. I'm sleeping in my van. Here's the campfire that's kind of smoldering. He's over here sleeping in the truck in his cab. He's got an extra cab. He just puts the seat down. And I'm going to guess it was around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. All of a sudden, he's honking his horn. So I'm laying on a mattress on the floor of my van because I pulled out the seats. And I hop up and I look through the window. And it's dark, but there's a little bit of light from the smoldering of the fire. And I see these 2 large, hairy creatures. Couldn't see clearly what they were. I didn't even know what they were when I saw them. But they're trying to, it looked to me like they were trying to reach into my friend's truck because his window was down. And that was why he was honking his horn. At that moment, I panicked. So I jump up, get in the driver's seat, and I'm honking my horn, thinking that whatever it is, maybe we'll scare it. I don't know. So these 2 things turn, and now they're walking around the truck. My van's over here, And the side door on my van is on this side where the fire is. And they came around this way. So as I'm seeing them come around, I jump down and I'm like a little kid. I'm hiding on the ground now, underneath the blanket, peeking up. And I've got those tinted windows, so I'm trying to see if whatever it is going to come up to the window. And all of a sudden, I see these two dark figures pressed up against my window. I've got that high-top van. It's at least 10 feet tall, and the windows are about like that. I could not see their head or their face, so however big they were, they had to be at least 8 feet tall. And they're pushing on my van. And I went into panic mode. I didn't know what to do, and so it's not coming off the wheels, but it's starting to move, and I'm thinking, what if these things push the van over and I land in the fire, and I'm thinking, right, I mean, these thoughts go through your head instantly in a moment. And so I thought, I need to get out of here. So I jump up, push open the door, they're on this side, and I sprint in the forest on pine needles and rocks to the dirt road out there, about 50, I would say about maybe 40 yards, thinking that whatever it is, I'm just going to run. So I get out to the road, and I'm running down the road, and I can hear my friend, now he's got his truck on, and he's got the lights on, and I'm thinking, I didn't know what was happening. So I'm running, and all of a sudden, not real hard, but I felt something push me down, and I went flat down on the ground, and I did not want to look up. I didn't even want to see what it was that might have hit me. Thank God my friend's coming down the road. He pulls up next to me. I'm laying on the ground, and he leans over and pushes open the passenger door and says, "Get in." So I hop in. Now, granted, all of our stuff there. My van's there. We got all our stuff. We drive back down to Sedona 2.5 hours. We did not go back to that spot for 3 days. That's how traumatized we were. Whoa. That's the story.
That's what I'm talking about.